2 p.m. in the UK. I'm actually broadcasting on Amazon Live. I'm just waiting for the signal to come through. And whilst the signal's coming through, so I'm going to go live on Amazon Live. Right, it's not quite as straightforward as going live on Facebook, YouTube, etc. There are various steps that have to be gone through, and I'm just waiting to go live on Amazon for the signal to go through to Amazon and to be notified that I am live. This should go red in a minute. It's gone red. Okay. So I'm running back to the studio now with 5 seconds to spare, and we are going to go live on Amazon Live. I'm going to take the card down, and if you're watching me on Facebook, on YouTube, then you can comment. I can see your comments on screen. Let's just come back to one of me. I can see your comments on screen, and I can display them. Okay. Now, just to note, the camera that I'm using at the moment is the Logitech Brio, and Logitech Brio is down in the carousel on Amazon Live. Now, when I speak about carousel, it's only you can only see it on Amazon Live, and if you are watching me on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, then you need to click the link up above, and that will take you directly to Amazon Live. So when I talk about the carousel, you'll have an idea what I'm talking about. Now today is a tale, not of two cities, but a tale of two cameras. Logitech Brio is the camera that I'm using at the moment, but I'm also using, as you can see, green screen software. Now I've been using green screen software since about January 2019. And I'm going to talk today about using green screen software with your camera and say hello to Corinda. And Corinda, there's an echo. Okay, hopefully it'll settle down in a minute, Corinda. Let's just hide this. Okay, as the echo disappeared, I've got an echo coming back. So can you just let me know? Yeah, the echo's disappeared. So I've got a problem with one of my cameras. Just a minute. Let's just go through the steps. What I'm going to do is take drastic action. Okay, and I'm going to mute that microphone. Okay, so let's start again. Thank you for the help, Corinda. Let's just go and find the camera that I'm actually, the other camera that I'm on, because I'm on 2 cameras today. Okay. So hopefully should still be just the one sound coming through. So thank you for watching me on Amazon Live. This is a tale of two cameras, and hopefully we've sorted the sound out now, and there isn't any problem. So Corinda, can you just confirm yet again that there isn't any problem? I'm pushing the boundaries again today. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm just going to switch off the name of the camera so that I can display this on screen. Okay, so the cameras we're talking about, the Logitech Brio and the Spot Tiny, they're both down the carousel. We're also talking about, as you can probably gather, green screen software. I'm going to show you 2 types of green screen software. I'm going to show you the green screen. I'm going to show you working without the green screen. Because I've always said, and I stick to this, that in order to be able to change your background during a broadcast, you should have background removal and a green screen. Okay, so because I've got a green screen behind me, and I'm using a Logitech Brio camera, I can quickly switch from one scene to another, and there you are. So I'm broadcasting from Wiltshire, England, which is about 97 miles away from London, which is behind me. So that's my backdrop today. Is London, and just over to Corinda again, and saying echo back. Whatever you've done, it worked. Okay. Right. Okay. So what I've done is to mute one of the microphones because it was picking up the sound. So my apologies because these things I could just come on screen with just me and a camera and do it. But occasionally Fridays is an experimental day, because I've got the shows Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. in the UK. And I do my experimental show on Friday, which is where we're looking at the latest in technology. Now, if I go here, you can see that behind me is a green screen, and it's that green screen which is allowing me to do this, to actually change the background. And when I change the background, the acid test is that you can see my fingers, or fingers and thumbs, and you can see 10. Okay. Slight tearing. There's going to be a slight tearing, because the thing about using a backdrop is you do have to keep sort of still. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain to you how I'm doing this with Logitech Brio. So this is the Logitech Brio camera that I'm using at the moment, and it's down in the carousel. Today, the Logitech Brio is 162.22, which is 19% off. So there's a 19% discount if you click the link in the carousel. Okay. If you don't click the link, then but please do, if you're interested in the Logitech Brio, which is the camera I'm using at the moment. It's up above me on my BenQ monitor, which is also in the carousel, then that'd be good. Okay. Also, if you're enjoying the broadcast, please do follow me, because following is important. It means that you'll be able to find my broadcasts anytime. You may get notified when I go live. You may not get notified when I go live. We're never sure about exactly how this works, but you don't get notifications all the time. You get notifications some of the time. I know Corinne was saying the other day that he gets lots of notifications. So all good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this works, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay. And over here, I can go to a window, and I can go there, and I can share my screen. Now, if I bring that screen share up on the screen, and take myself off full screen, and hide that camera, hide that card. Okay, you can now see two of me. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute that. I'm going to put that full screen. This is the software to which the Logitech Brio camera is connected that allows me to do the background removal and to actually change my background whenever I wish during a live broadcast. Okay, so it's not set it before you go live and that's it. You can actually change the mood of your live broadcast simply by changing the background. The echo's back. Now it's perfect. Echo's gone. Okay. How many devices have I got? I've got zillions. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this full screen. And this is the software that I'm using. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the background. Okay. This is my office. Okay. This is what you normally see. You've got the green screen behind me. You've got the chess set at the side of me. Chess set that side of me. You've got the wall. Okay. And you've got a bottle at the top, which is basically Heelys. Right, but we're not talking, it's a cider bottle in case you're interested, but cider is actually called Heelys. So the first thing you can do with your Logitech Brio camera is get this software, which is XSplit VCam, and this is what you look like without the software actually working. If I go here, the first thing that happens with background removal software is to remove your background. And I've gone blank. I know I've gone blank, and I'm back now. So the background removal software removes everything that's behind you. Okay, takes it all away. And this is what it looks like in the software. Okay, once the background has been removed. Now you've got background removal tools, so background removal tools on Canva and in video. They're the same sort of principle, but this is actually doing a background for moving. Yeah, so as I move about, there is no tearing at all. Okay, so that's the background removal, and then you can add in your own background. Now, one of my favorite backgrounds is this one. Okay, because this one simply works. Now I'm just waiting for it to come. There you are. So this is one of my favorite backgrounds. Now I'm just going to demonstrate here that basically with a good background removal software, you can raise your hands and you can show all 10 fingers and you can move them about. If I didn't have a green screen behind me, this simply wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to see. You get tearing. Now occasionally you're going to get tearing, and tearing is when you can see a hole in, right, but there's no hole. And that's because this background removal tool, which I'm using with Logitech Brio, has been going since January 2019, if not before. And I've been using it all the time, and it is quite possibly the best in class to use with any camera. Okay, I've got it on Logitech Brio, could have it on 920, 922, 925, 930, in fact, with any camera. And I will show you that in this. But what I'm talking about is the ability to actually change your background so that you can appear anywhere. Okay, now I've now gone over to Germany. Yeah? And I could, if I was doing a French cooking program, I could change to having the French flag behind me. So like music in a live broadcast, images in a live broadcast help to set a mood and tell a story. Does it work with the presenter? Which presenter, Corinda? Okay, which presenter are you talking about? Okay, so in addition to having music in your broadcast, whether you're on Zoom or whether you're broadcasting live as I am now, you can actually change your background. Yeah, if I was talking about art, then this is the ideal background to have. Yeah, it's abstract, totally abstract. I'm using the software to do that. Now, if I go here, okay, how do we add a background for our Brio camera? Basically, I can take a media file from my desktop. Okay, so I'm just going over to my desktop. Hopefully this will work. I'll be back in a second if not. And if I go down here, just let me go, artwork, and scroll down. Hopefully, right. Okay. Am I looking in the wrong place? Okay, so let me scroll down. Okay, and let's bring up that image. Okay, so I can upload an image from my desktop. Okay, now you saw everything that happened there. You saw that I went to my local drive, I picked a file and I brought the file into XSplit VCam, and the Brio camera is now being used with XSplit VCam. At the top, you can see I can select my camera. So I can change cameras and I can change backgrounds. Gives us great flexibility. So I can add a hang on. Okay, what I need to do, and I'll do this live, you collect images as you go along from many different places, and occasionally what you need to do is to remove a background. So that's how you delete a background. You pick the background, okay, and that's a background with me. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change to a different background. Okay, and I'm going to delete that background. Okay, so now I've got space. Okay, you can have up to 100 backgrounds. I had 100. I've now got 98, which means I can show you a little bit more about the software. And I can add a background. We've done from a media file. I could also share a web page behind me if I wished, or a YouTube video. Now, in terms of video, if I go back to here, then I can scroll down and you can have behind you video. Okay, so we're switching over now and we're switching to having video playing in the background in a second or two. Okay, so now we've got video playing in the background, and you'll see that in a minute. XSplit Presenter everything basically, if it works with your camera, then XSplit VCam, you can transfer it everywhere. So you can transfer it to any application that uses your camera, and you can use XSplit VCam with your Brio camera or with your Overspot camera, which we'll come to in a moment. So you can basically, this is transportable. Yeah, it is a Windows-based piece of software, but you can take it to Zoom, you can take it, as I'm doing, to Be Live, you can take it to Amazon Live, you can take it anywhere you want. It's totally transportable. So you can have, this video is actually being stored on YouTube and it's playing in the background whilst I'm live. And if I go here, you can see, hopefully in a second, you can see the full effect. Okay, so this is with the video playing in the background. Okay, I'm going to hide that and come back. So I've got them side by side again. Let's go back to the screen share with the software. So you can add a video background. I'll take that off and switch over to this background. Just give me a moment. I'm going to switch over to this background. Okay, and this is St. Nicholas, where Chris de Boven lives. And Chris was kind enough to actually send me the photograph. Now, the thing about this, when you're using an image in the background, you want to have the top of the image too light. Okay, if the top of the image is too light, your hair will blow in a non-existent breeze. Okay, what you're looking for out of green screen software, working with the Brio cameras, is the fact that you can move your fingers, you can move yourself, and yeah, this is the latest update from XSplit VCam, and it is totally blowing my mind, the quality of this. So yeah, it works with the Unsplash. So the other place you can get free backgrounds from is if I go over to here and I go to Unsplash. Yeah, I can download, if I wanted to go to where can I go? Rome. If I spell it correctly, then it will be seen correctly. Okay, so these are photographs and images of Rome, and that's a recognizable one. So I can take that image and I can download it. Okay, so that's now part of my permanent collection of backdrops, is the Colosseum in Rome. And there's some other Rome features here. Let's go for this one. And it's downloaded the image. Okay, so Unsplash is a website where photographers from around the globe share their photographs that they've taken, and you can use them providing you acknowledge where you got them from. That's the key, to acknowledge where you got them from. You can do that just by sending a tweet. So after this broadcast, I will find this picture on Unsplash and I'll tweet out, and just as a way of saying thank you to the person who actually provided the photograph. So I could talk about, if I close that, I can close that, and there you can see the two images are downloaded. Yeah, and this is just, I'm still using the Logitech Brio camera, which is down the carousel, but I'm changing the way that we look. Yeah, I could have, because of Unsplash, I can have pictures from anywhere around the world and tell a story. I can tell a story about a Colosseum. I can tell a story about, I was trying to find one. When you want to find one, I can tell a story about here. Okay, which is, I could be in an office. Okay, I could be in Germany. Yeah, I could be, I'm not sure where this is. If anybody knows where this is, please do let me know. Yeah, but the thing is that I can change my background, add additional backgrounds up to 100 and use them with my Brio camera or with my Unsplash. And I'll show the Unsplash with this software, but for the moment, I'm going to come back to one of my favorite designs. Let's come down here, and hopefully somewhere down here is, right, okay, you can even have a rainbow as your backdrop. Depends what you're talking about, but it may be relevant. You could just have a gradiated blue background or that one. Okay, now I'm going to stay with that one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the screen share and come back to me. Okay, so that is the ability to actually change your background with the Logitech Brio camera. And I'm going to stop sharing now, which should release some memory, and we should come back to normal speed. Thank you for watching me on Amazon Live, and I do appreciate the time you're actually spending with me. We're actually looking at cameras and at green screens. And if I go here and take the original off, we're back to where we started. So this is the Logitech Brio on its own. Okay, without any additional software, this is what the Logitech Brio looks like. It is a 1080 and 720p camera. So 1080p is the higher of the two resolutions. It's also 4K. Now we can only broadcast out in 1080 or 720. I'm broadcasting to you today in 720p. Okay, and this is what the Logitech Brio, I mean, you can actually see it now. Yeah, you can see the quality of the camera. Now, the thing is that for every camera that we have, there is software available. And what I'm going to show you now, hopefully, is the software that you can get for the Logitech Brio. And I'm just going to share screen again and go over to a window and hopefully pick the right bit of software. I think I've got, no, I haven't got it. Just a minute. Just let me find it. Okay, and that's it. It's playing up. I will get it. I'm determined to get it. Just bear with me a moment. All right, I think I've got it. It's one of those pieces of software that can be elusive. Right, so I've got the share, and that means that I can bring that share into my studio. And I'm going to take myself off full screen. And now you should see next to me is the software. I'm going to go side by side. Okay, this is the software that you can download from logitech.com to control your camera. Now, you can, and hopefully when I've done this, I'll actually get back to where I began. But if I press the plus sign, I can actually increase and I can zoom in. So let's zoom in. Okay, and that's too big, and let's zoom out. So I can zoom. That's the first thing I can do. The second thing is, and I'm going to go side by side here, is the second thing I can do is I can change the field of vision. I can go to 65 degrees, which is this setting, or 78 degrees. Hopefully this is going to follow. Or I can go to 90 degrees. Yeah. Now, each time I zoom out, you can see more of my office. Okay. That's basically the option you've got. You've got a 90-degree field of view for the camera. So you can have 90 degrees. You can have 78 degrees. Or you can have 65 degrees. Now, 65 degrees is the tightest, and it's the one that I tend to use. The other thing I can do is I can change it so that the only thing that you can see behind me is the green screen. Okay, so I'm just going using the controls. Let's just go through that again. Using the controls here, I can move left and I can move right. Okay. In addition to that, there's some advanced controls, and I can change the brightness. Now, if I change the brightness, then we're going to go lighter and lighter and lighter, but I can come back to the beginning. I'm grateful for the fact that Logitech have actually put the natural default at 50. So all I need to do is navigate my way back to 50. I can change the contrast. Okay, that does not look good. So I'm going to go back again to as close to 50 as I can get. Autofocus, I don't use, not in the situation we're in. I could put white balance on. Okay, and that changed. The white balance depends on the lighting. So that's changed me And what I'm going to do now is just change the color intensity down a little bit so that I tend to look more natural. Now, basically, as far as the camera settings are concerned, it is a matter of personal choice. Okay, you can set this up exactly as you want it to be, and the software that I've been using is free, and it's available from logitech.com. Just go to logitech.com and search for camera software, and you'll find the software I was using there, and you'll also find Logitech Capture, 2 pieces of software. So this is the Brio camera. I've had camera wise, I've had the C920, which is down the carousel at the moment. Then I've had the Brio, okay, which is the one you're looking at now, and today it's 19% off at 162.22. But I bought a new camera, and if I can find it, I'll show it to you. When I say if I can find it, I mean if I can find it in my studio. And there are so many different things here that it's not actually. If I go here, okay, yes, I've got it. Okay, so I'm going to bring this camera in. I'm going to switch it on. Okay, and hopefully in a second you can now see 2 cameras. You can see 2 of me. Okay, but we don't want 2 of me, and we do want me looking at the camera. So you can now do a direct comparison between Logitech Brio and the Unsplash Tiny. Okay, direct comparison. Now, as you can see, the Unsplash Tiny is actually using green screen software, and all of this is possible. Let's just start from the beginning again. I'm actually going to change the settings, and I'm going to take the green screen off. Okay, I should be back in a minute. I promise you I will be back, and you'll see a familiar face. Okay, I've been using the Unsplash Tiny with green screen software because I've got the Fovitech green screen, which is down the carousel. But I've been using it with the software that's built into my BeLive Studio. I'm broadcasting today, just so that everybody knows, I'm broadcasting today from BeLive. Okay. I'm broadcasting on BeLive, which it means I can have multiple cameras. It also means that I can have, looking at the camera, I can have backgrounds as well. So let's put a background on this camera. Now I can't use the XSplit because I'm using that for the Brio. So for this camera, I'm actually using software from BeLive. And I'm just going over to actually find the background. Okay. And I'm going to disappear. I know I'm going to disappear, but you should still be able to hear me. Okay, so I'm going to disappear, and hopefully when I come back I will have a new background. Okay, when I come back I'll have a new background. Okay, and I'm going to hide that. No, I can't hide that. Okay, so this background is the one from BeLive, and as you can see, it's pretty good. You can see the 10 fingers. You've got slight tearing, but this is high quality background removal software actually built into the BeLive Studio. And it does give us the option. We don't need XSplit VCam, we just need the Unsplash Tiny, which is down the carousel, and the green screen software from BeLive. Now, most systems have the green screen software. The difference with the BeLive green screen software is it is actually NVIDIA. Okay, you know the graphics card manufacturers. NVIDIA. This is NVIDIA technology built into the BeLive Studio, which means that I can, as I could with the XSplit VCam, I can actually change the background just to prove that this is not a fixed background. I'm going to go over here and come back here, and in a second I should change again. All things being equal, you'll be able to hear me. I might disappear because it takes a second or two for the software to take over, but this background should disappear and I should reappear, in a second. I'm counting here with a new background. So there you have it. The ability to actually change backgrounds from within your studio. Now, most systems have this. So if you've got any sort of camera, and this is the Unsplash Tiny, then you can use background removal software to actually tell a story. So you're not tied to external software. This is actually built into your studio. Now, the quality, and I'm just going to come back here. The quality of, and this is the Brio again, the quality of green screen software is variable. Yeah, from basically different video houses provide different versions of the software. They've all been down this road of actually creating the perfect background removal system. And from my point of view, XSplit VCam is the best because it goes across all platforms. Okay, Windows based, but it goes across all platforms. It's the number one. Ecamm for Mac is also pretty good, but they are changed to a subscription model, and you now have to pay monthly or annually to get the Ecamm. Okay. So this camera that you're looking at now is the Logitech Brio, and the software that I was actually using with it is XSplit VCam. Okay, so this is the Logitech Brio. So we're looking at, if I take that off screen, we've been looking at. I'm going to take it off screen. Okay. Just go over here for a minute. Okay, I just want to. Wait a minute. I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay, I just want to go back here for a moment, and we'll come back to cameras in a second. But this is, and I'm going to show this on screen in a second. If you're watching me live on Amazon, I'd just like to say welcome. I do appreciate that you're spending time with me. If you've got any questions about cameras, microphones, live broadcasting, anything at all, then please do ask. The show that I'm doing today is called Lights, Camera, Action, but this is the background removal show, and you are watching. Just a minute, that went wrong. You're watching the show where things sometimes go wrong. And I say sometimes go wrong. I do mean sometimes go wrong. Because I'd like to experiment while I'm showing you things. Now I'm showing you two cameras today, Logitech Brio and the Unsplash Tiny. And I want to stick with the Unsplash Tiny in a minute. But what you can do is that you can compare the two cameras, okay? Because they're side by side. Okay, this is the left-hand side is the Brio, the right-hand side is the Unsplash. Now, in defense of the Unsplash, I do need to refine it. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, because we've looked at the software that controls. Okay. I don't know about distracting you. That was distracting me. We've looked at the software that controls your Logitech cameras, your Logitech C9, C920, 922, 925, 930, all the range, and the Brio can all be controlled by software you can download free from Logitech.com. If you bought the camera, you can download the software for free. There's no extra cost involved. If you download the software, you can control your camera so that you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can pan to one side, you can pan to the other side. Okay, that software to control your camera is available from Logitech.com. Okay, good. Glad we decided that. Now I'm going to go over to the other camera, and we're going to spruce it up a bit. Okay, I'm going to take the Be Live logo off. Okay, so I'm going to take the logo off. I actually work for Be Live. But this is me here, and I'm going to go over to the Unsplash camera. So this is the Unsplash camera, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the background. So give me a second. I'm going to remove the background. I may disappear for a second and then come back, but I should come back, he said, theoretically. Right, I'm back without any background. Okay, so this is the Unsplash tiny camera, which is down the carousel, it is today on sale, and it's on sale at 15% off. Okay. Now, the reason I got the Unsplash camera is I saw this camera, the Unsplash camera, was funded in 2021 on Indiegogo, beginning of the year, and they built this camera after being so successful, oversubscribed on Indiegogo, that this was created. And you'll see this camera with several different live broadcasters, and I can only but recommend it. I'll tell you for why. First of all, with the Unsplash camera, you've got 720 and 1080p. I'm broadcasting to you at the moment in 1080p. Well, in 720p, but I can change location. So this is me. Just a minute. Oh, yes, good. Okay. This is my desktop. So now the camera is focusing on my desktop, which means that I can use it as a second camera in my live broadcast. And if I go back to location 1, that's back to me. Okay, that's done automatically. And I can go to location 3, which for some reason is up on that wall. Just a minute. Okay, we're up on the wall, and you can see a picture of Avebury Stone Circle and my Under Armour rucksack. I can come back to me. So the thing is, the Unsplash Tiny has a 270-degree field of view. If we go back to Logitech for a moment, Logitech Brio is a brilliant camera. I love it. Okay, and until the Unsplash is my favorite camera, but it's fixed. It's on top of my BenQ monitor, and it's not going to move, and it can't swivel. It can't. Okay, it's just fixed. Okay, there's things I can do, yeah, but it's fixed. Whereas with the Unsplash, and this is the big thing to me, with the Unsplash, I can move around from preset location to preset location and go back again. Okay, to the other location. So we're going around the office. Right, I'm going to stop zooming now. I'm going to sit still for a minute. Okay, this is me sat still. Okay, now you'll notice that if I move, the camera moves with me. And this is basically the Unsplash has got AI built in, artificial intelligence built into the bot, tracking software. It can track your movements. And that's why I love this. This is a fun camera. This is not, it's not just fixed. It's got legs. It's got legs. It actually allows you to freedom of movement. Now, if this works, it'll be good. But I'm going to tell you that this allows you freedom of movement. Okay, and I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up from where I'm sat, and the camera is going to follow me. Believe me, it's going to follow me. So if I stand up, okay, the camera is actually following my movement. I just need to move something. Then you notice that the camera refocused. Yeah, so I bent down, the camera bent down. I stand up, the camera stands up. I go to my green screen. Yeah. This camera is the next generation of camera. This is an affordable PTZ camera. Pan, tilt, and zoom. Okay. It's the first camera of its kind at this price bracket. $169 today, down in the carousel. It's on discount. And I never thought I'd actually see this camera on discount, to be honest. But what it allows me to do as an Amazon Live presenter is that I can stand up. Okay, so I can move my chair out of the way. Okay, and I can stand up to present. Okay, the other thing I can do, and I try to do things in these shows, okay, to push the boundaries, to do something. Now, you can see that there's a green screen behind me. What I'm going to try and do is this. Okay, it's going to follow me down, and I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to pick a green screen. Okay, I'm going to pick something simple. If this works, it will be absolutely brilliant. Okay, you can see the green screen, you can see the wall behind me. And in a second, all things being equal, I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere. We'll be back. It's happening. I can see it's happening. Okay, okay, there you have it. There you have it. Now I've got a green screen behind me, and that's the problem. So let's just switch cameras. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this live. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the green screen from the wall. Okay, this is live, and this should work. I'm moving the green screen physically. This is just to prove 2 points. Okay, I'm back now. It's worth doing. This is to prove 2 points. When you looked behind me, you could see the green screen, you could see the wall. Okay. Now, because I'm using background removal software, I could be stood anywhere in the world. Yeah. And I can walk nearer the camera, and the software will focus on me. And this is basically, right. First of all, the obspot. I should say that the obspot actually gives you headroom. Yeah. So it knows basically that when you're actually appearing on camera, when you're actually appearing on Zoom, what you actually need to be able to do is to go close to the camera and for the camera to adjust so that you're perfectly placed on screen. And it will keep adjusting until it's happy. Yeah. So I'm now presenting and I'm stood up and I'm close to the camera. I'm where my chair used to be, but I'm not sat down, I'm stood up. And this background software has actually removed the background. Yeah. The full background. Not just where the green screen was, but all the background. So I can have any image I wanted behind me and be stood up. And the camera will track me as I move around. Yeah. So I'm moving around. Now it does have, I'm not going to do this, I promise you, but it does have fast tracking. And with fast tracking, you can, if I was to do a dance now, then or run up, more probably run up and down, this camera would track me. And fast tracking would keep in sync with me. Now I saw a demonstration of this camera where a gentleman was running around the gym, and the camera was just following him around the gym. So this camera, the Hms tiny camera is just so much fun. Yeah, it's not just a camera. It's a whole presentation system. Yeah, and it's called the Hms Tiny because it's tiny. If you look down the carousel, there's representation of the size of it. But it does mean that I can be stood up. Okay, and you're going to get slight tearing. But if I keep reasonably still, I can be stood up and be close to camera. Yeah, and I can take out these Aftershocks earbuds and I can put them on. Okay, and you can actually see how they look on. Okay. It's brilliant. So I'm going to take the background off now because I've actually proved my point. We may bring it back later, but for now I'm going to disappear for a second. Okay, and I'm taking the background off, and you'll see what we've been covering up. Okay, we've been covering up the wall behind me. Okay, so the perfect background removal system, you need a green screen. Alternatively, you need a single color wall behind you. That's what I've got. I've got the single color wall behind me. I've moved the green screen. I'm going to find a way of moving it back in a minute. But basically, using the Hms Tiny, I can come right close to the camera. The camera will adjust itself in a second. Yeah, so I'm looking at the camera. I can move back and the camera will follow me as I go further back into the room. Okay, and then I can move forward again. So it's adjusting, it's recalibrating every time that I move. And this, to me, is the most fun, the most capable camera that I've ever had. And it does provide a good alternative to Logitech Brio. Now, there is one thing about this. And I'm going to sit down again now. Okay, so you can see I moved the green screen. Okay, what I'm going to do while I readjust the office. Okay, what I'm going to do while I readjust the office, and the camera needs to find me again, and it will. Okay, while I readjust the office, what I'm going to do, sunshine in the UK today, is play you a short video, and I just need to find a video that I can play you. I've got several in my studio, but okay, what we're going to talk about in a minute is gimbals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video shot with the home gimbal while I put my office back together. Yeah, because basically I've broken the office and we can't have that. So whilst I put the green screen back in its place, I'll set the scene. What you're about to see is a video shot with the home gimbal, which is what I use the weekend to go out and about and shoot things. Yeah, the home gimbal, I better show it you first, I suppose. Okay, what I'm going to do now is this. Okay, I'm going to put the two cameras side by side. Yeah, I'm going to set that camera to actually go to the other location. If I tap that button and tap that button, then we should be at the other location. I'll take the title off so it's not actually covering up. Okay, so I've taken the title off. So, and I'm going to move these two around. Let's put that over there. Let's put that over there. Okay, and let's put that over there. Okay, all right, it now looks like I'm on the right way around. So I'm going to show you, when I put the office back together, I'm going to show you a short video shot using this. And I'm now going to go full screen on that camera. Okay, so this is the Hohem iSteady gimbal, and it's going to be down in the carousel in a moment. But basically, this is what was used to shoot this video. So I'm going to put the video full screen, and I'm going to switch my microphone. Is the first Ironclad ship built in Great Britain, and it's steam powered, not sail powered, and we're just going to walk alongside to give you an idea of the size of this. Over there is a tower, 385 feet I think. You can actually go up in a lift to the top, but we're concentrating on the shipping today as we're at the dockyards. Welcome to HMS Warrior, Her Majesty's ship Warrior, or His Majesty's ship as it was when it was commissioned. And this is just an amazing place as I pan round. We're actually, the estuary is over there, and we have all the buildings on the right. As usual, I'm broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and my website, live from Portsmouth in England, as Angelica and I do our tour of Hampshire. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid people. And hello.
Are you going on board?
No, we're not.
No,
okay. I think you're not allowed to photograph on board, hence his question, which is a fair one. Today we're just taking a walk around the dockyards as opposed to touring the facilities. It's wonderful because you can actually get onto the dockyards for free, which is what we've done today, and you can walk around and you can film and nobody's going to stop you. So I'm going to go as far as here and then turn around and watch Angelica coming towards us, and we'll turn around and head back because we don't know what's going to come next. We've just done this part, so Angelica's going to follow me. What I'm doing now is I'm stopping the video, as you've seen, and now I'm going to fast forward. I want to fast forward to here. round about here, and then I'm going to press play again as we go up here. Wait a minute, where do we want to go? Just a second. Okay, so let's press play and see what happens.
As I say, this is the first time that we've seen this, so Mary Rose Museum, HMS Victory, and refreshments. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about what we're looking at. And it says here the conservation continues. In 2012, the National Museum of the Royal Navy and HMS Victory, so this is HMS Victory, which was Nelson's ship, embarked upon a £40 million 25-year programme of conservation to ensure the Victory is preserved for future generations. As a part of this process, visitors have a unique opportunity to see beneath Victory's skin. Shipwrights will use traditional skills, now we saw the school a moment ago, will use traditional skills to replace the planking to keep rainwater out and keep the historic structure dry and free from rot.
And hopefully I should be able to come back to me in a second. Just a second. I'm going to take that off. Okay, I'm going to hide the video. Okay, and we're back to me. Okay, so that video was shot with the home gimbal, which is down in the carousel. I love the home gimbal. I mean, it has to be said that this gimbal is one of the best that I've found. It's so easy to operate. I mean, I've been using this gimbal since March last year, and we go out at weekends and I take my mobile phone and I shoot video using the home gimbal. And the video you've just seen of HMS Victory was actually shot at Portsmouth Royal Naval Dockyards back in August this year, and that was a brilliant day out. And the fact that I had my phone with me and my gimbal meant that I could walk around the dockyard and I could make a short documentary, and that's priceless because that's personal memories. This video is also on YouTube, so if you search for Portsmouth Royal Naval Dockyards, you'll find it, and it is over on YouTube. Okay, so shooting videos is something I really enjoy doing, and I did explain exactly how I did it yesterday, and I will be back next Wednesday at 9 AM Eastern to explain basically how it all works. So we've been looking today at, and let's just recap, because everything that I'm talking about is down in the carousel. We talked about the Unsplash Tiny, which is my favorite phone camera. We talked about the Logitech Brio, which is the camera you're looking at now. We talked about using NVIDIA on BeLive for the Unsplash camera. That's how we got the background. And I've been using Expert VCam to be able to change my background whilst we're live. Okay, and at one click I can actually be anywhere. Okay, and I've got a leak at the top of my head. Let's just move somewhere. Okay, I think there's a light shining through somewhere. Okay, let's come back to me. It's the sunshine. We're in England, we've got sunshine. Just a reminder, you're watching Stephen from England. In actual fact, if I go like this, yeah, because I do tend to get carried away. If I hide that video, all my videos are actually over on YouTube, and you can go to YouTube and watch the videos. But just a reminder, I created this earlier and I'd like to show it at least once. Okay. Today I'm broadcasting from using BeLive, which gives me a studio to work from. I can play YouTube video because you've just seen a YouTube video just then. I can show images. I can have up to 4 cameras, but I've got 2 cameras on screen at the moment. To the left of me is the Unsplash, and this is the Brio that you're looking at now, where the sun's shining just above my head. the show is called Lights, Camera, Action. It's on Amazon Live, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern, as you wake up. I am grateful for the time you're actually spending with me. I'm live from England, and you need to unmute to listen to my stories. Now, as you've probably gathered by now, I have, and I'm going to take that off now. I have so much fun doing this that I sometimes get carried away, and hopefully on the whole things work as they should do, but occasionally things will go wrong. For that you have my apologies, but I am pushing the boundaries and telling you about things which are of interest to me. So background removal I've been using since 2019, and it does allow us to actually change the way things are, and just to bring well, it just makes things so interesting. And when you're doing live video, when you either broadcasting live now as I am, or you're broadcasting on Zoom. Right, a question for Corinda. What's the difference between the C920 and the Brio? The Brio has 4K. The C920 doesn't. The C920 is 1080 and 720. Brio has 4K. It's got a wider angle. It's got a better camera, and it shows the colorways a lot better. And you can adjust it, as we saw earlier. You can adjust it to actually suit yourself. If you're watching me on Amazon Live, I'd like to say thank you. I just want to go through what's in the carousel. So we've looked at the Obspot Tiny, and the Obspot Tiny is next to me. And with the Obspot Tiny, you can either see two of me, okay, or you can see one of me and my desktop. That's my demonstration desktop. Oh, new plant this week. That's that plant, and we're going to watch that growing on Amazon Live between now and December. It should come into flower in spring. So that's my contribution to staying green, is that plant. Okay, if you are watching me live, then like Corinda is, you can actually comment and ask questions about anything that I actually talk about during the live broadcast. The thing about the comments is that they actually disappear. Yeah, so after this show, they're gone. The only thing that's left is the recording of this broadcast. Everything else goes. I get a copy, but as far as Amazon Live is concerned, it's gone. Now, what I'm going to do now, as you've been so good to join me, is I'm going to bring up another video. Okay, and oh, thank you for the follow. A shout out to Lizette. Just a minute. At this point in the broadcast, my good friend Marco Novo would play some music. I don't do that. I just want to say a heartfelt thank you, Lizette, for actually following me, and I look forward to seeing you in future broadcasts. And if you have any questions, then at any time, because I'm live 9 a.m. Eastern every day, please do come and join me and ask questions about, well, about everything really. But I'm going to bring you a video up. Basically, I'm going to bring this video up and I'm going to put it full screen. Okay, there isn't an explainer about how Amazon Live works. So I've done my own. So the next couple of minutes, I'm going to take you on a little tour of Amazon Live. So I'm going to mute my microphone. It's Stephen here, and this is Amazon Live. This is a short guided tour of what Amazon Live is about. Now, basically, Amazon Live is broadcasters from around the globe getting together to broadcast on Amazon.com and talk about the products they own and love. And this is the homepage, Amazon.com/live. You can reach it from the Amazon.com homepage by taking the menu and going down to get to Amazon Live. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the people I'm actually following. I'm on the Discover page, which is basically shows me the broadcasts that are live at the moment. You'll see in the top left-hand corner, it says live. And we've got a variety of topics. As we go down, we'll see people who are live and people who've been live. Now, if people have been live, you can actually watch the replay. If they are live, however,
there is more that you can do. The first thing is that you can follow people. Now, if you follow, this is important because it means you'll never lose this broadcast. It will always be available to you in the following tab, which is all the shows that you follow on a regular basis, and you can watch the replays or you can watch live just by going to the following tab. Whilst the broadcast is live, you can type in to the text box. So I'm going to type in hello from the UK. Okay, and that shows on the screen. So you can communicate with the live broadcasters whilst they are live. You can type text, you can ask questions about the products they're actually demonstrating, and you'll get answers live on air. These are people who actually know the products well, and when they talk about something that's down in the carousel, they do know about it, and you can ask questions. The questions and the text in the right hand side of this page will actually disappear after the show. So it's not a permanent record. The only thing that survives the live broadcast is the recording. All the text down the right hand side goes. The second thing you can do is you can follow somebody. Now if you press the following button, it means that you'll quickly be able to find their broadcasts. Now this is important. In the center of the screen you can see an unmute button. Until you press the unmute button on an individual broadcast, you cannot listen to what the person is saying. Now obviously it makes it more interesting when you can hear what people are saying. So if you find what the presenter is doing interesting, do unmute and listen. Nobody knows that you've unmuted and listened. We don't know who people are. We just know the number of people who've unmuted and listened. We never get to know your contact details in any way, shape or form. So I think that's basically a fair point. Whilst you're on Amazon Live, and thank you for watching me live and watching the sunshine in the UK. If I put my hands up, it disappears a bit. Thank you for watching me live. We never know who people are. Even when you type a comment, there's no link to your profile on Amazon. We have no way of actually contacting you directly. All your information is stored by Amazon and is not given to the broadcasters. Now, all the broadcasters are independent. We do not work for Amazon. And I think this is a point that Corinda was trying to make yesterday, that we don't work for Amazon. We are independent broadcasters showing you items that you can find on Amazon.com, and we in our carousel have items which we know about. In other words, we can talk about them, and if you ask a question, we can answer the question. If we can't answer the question, then we know somebody who does. So we are Amazon insiders. We've been selected by Amazon. We go through a process. We don't just say, can I go live? Amazon saying there's a trainee period during which we go live for 90 minutes. Amazon assesses, and then if Amazon are happy, we can go live on Amazon Live. If Amazon are not happy, then we've got to get our act together and reapply in 30 days. So the people who you see on Amazon Live have gone through a selection process to be here. They're here as, well, volunteer broadcasters who have expertise that they want to share. Everybody who you see in Amazon Live has a different area of expertise, and you can tap into that expertise purely by asking questions whilst we're live. Okay, and as I say, you still remain virtually anonymous. Not anonymous though, because I'm broadcasting on Facebook as well as Amazon Live, is Dr. ELO or Ephraim, and Ephraim's hello. I think he said it probably about 45 minutes ago. I got so carried away with the camera thing and demonstrating the HubSpot and the Logitech Brio and the background removal software. Remember, I do have the background removal software running, and I can be anywhere in the world. And this, I wish I could take me off screen. The photograph behind me now is my local church. So I can tell you the church
basically is about 10 minutes away from us, and we go on a Sunday morning to service at the church behind me, St. James's Church in Devizes. And I used this actually to promote donating to the church, to keep the church going. And I had a donation button which I can show live on Facebook and YouTube. But this is something that this is part of Devizes history. Devizes is a town of 23,000 people, and it's 97 miles away from London, and it's between London and Bristol. There is a canal that runs through Devizes. That's the Kennington Avon Canal, and that canal connects Bristol with London. And basically, it was the main method of transport. When the canal was built, everything went on a barge. So goods would arrive from the USA, be taking, the ships would be unladen, and then goods go onto the barges set off on their journey down to London. Now, fortunately, that is days gone by, and all goods go by train now. So, but it is part of our history. So this is behind me, St. James's Church, and well, it just means, it illustrates how you can actually use, because I say I actually use this. Okay, and now we're using Logitech Brio, are also using XSplit VCam software. I'm now in Sarnia in Ontario, and this is the bridge behind me that one of the bridges which joins Canada with the USA. So if you're in the States, you can walk or drive across this bridge and you're in Canada. The reverse is true. Obviously, customs at both sides, but this is the bridge. I love the waterway there. I've never been. I'm hoping to be invited one day, but a lot of my friends actually live in Sarnia in Ontario. And a shout out to David Burrows, who's also an Amazon insider and broadcasts on Amazon Live. So pictures tell stories. Okay, next picture I'm going to use. Okay, and this is the Logitech Brio camera, and it's using software. And we went earlier in this broadcast, we went over to, that's the Colosseum at Rome, and we're now inside one of the chapels in Rome, and it's just using your Brio camera and background software. Okay, let's go back to, and thank you for watching me live. I do appreciate it. And you're watching, if I go here, just to explain, you're watching lights, camera, action, and you are watching, I'm going to take that off, you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England, and I'm talking about cameras, I'm talking about microphones, I'm talking about everything to do with broadcasting, whether you be broadcasting on Zoom or as I am now on Amazon Live. Okay, now if you can't, you probably tell that I actually enjoy doing this. I mean, I've been broadcasting for 6 years now, and Amazon Live is the best place I've ever broadcast. Okay, forget Facebook, forget YouTube. Amazon Live is where the action is. The video I showed you earlier, this video, and I'm going to come off here. Hopefully. No, that didn't work. Okay, the video I showed you earlier, which is down below me, all about Amazon Live, is in fact, that's me, is in fact on YouTube, and you can watch the, because I can only play a section of a video whilst I'm on Amazon Live. I can't play the full video because I'm supposed to be live. I am live. The full video is over on YouTube, so I'm going to hide that now and come back to me. Okay, I'm going to take my background off because it can be disconcerting. Okay, so what I'm going to look at next is something, well, first of all, I suppose you should really know, just a minute, I'll get there. You should really know where I am. I'm actually there. I'll put that full screen so we can see it. And there we go. It's now full screen. So I'm actually, he said, trying to get into shot. This is wrong way around. I actually live close to there. I live close to Stonehenge. Okay, so that's where I am. Okay, and we're very fortunate to be able to go to Stonehenge quite frequently. And next thing I want to talk about is down the carousel. Now, this is something that's changed the way that I do things. And if I can find it, I will talk about it. Okay. This product has 85,000, and it's averaging 4.5 stars. For the very good reason, this is old technology, but it's allowing me to have 2 cameras on screen. Yeah, I can have 2 cameras on screen because of what I'm about to show you. Normally, let me change themes. Okay, I'm going to shrink. Yep, I'm shrunk. Normally, you plug your camera into your computer, be it a Mac or a Windows machine, and that's it. You've got 1 camera, just 1 camera. Yeah, just 1. With this anchor, just a minute. Ta-da! With this anchor 4-way USB port, which I'm touching now, you can have, and I've got 2 cameras plugged in there. It's the one you're looking at large, the one you're looking at small, both plugged in there. I've got a microphone plugged in there, which is my new Elgato Wave 3, which I'm going to sort out this weekend. And then I've got the Toshiba 2TB hard drive plugged in as well. So that one device, which costs $16.99, means that you can connect more cameras, more microphones, more storage devices, DVD players, whatever you want. You can actually connect it directly to your computer using this. And I've been using this now for 2 weeks. I haven't had a single problem with it at all. It just works out the box. It's plug and play, and it just does the job that it's supposed to, which is good. Okay, you have been watching me. You've been watching Stephen from England. I wish you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'm back with you at 9 a.m. on Monday. And next week, I'm going to try and do the show for 2 hours. But I do thank you for joining me today. It's been my pleasure. Take care. And I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Lisette. And thank you to Corinda. Bye for now. Take care.